So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as I invite on stage a young star who seamlessly gels into any role, any industry, any platform. Please put your hands together for Mr. Sundeep Kishan, actor and producer. వినిపిస్తలేదు వినిపియాలి కనిపియాలి చప్పట్లు. A warm welcome to you, sir. And now, to moderate this session, let me once again invite on stage Mr. Russell De Silva, the managing editor for Telechakkar.
Whew, I'm suddenly feeling short on confidence. I'm sitting before Sundeep Kishan. He's that very definition of tall, dark, and handsome. I'm being very truthful.
First things first, thank you for being incredibly kind with your choice of words and compliments. Thank you for that really sweet AV and the entire choice of adjectives used. నేను జనరల్గా ఫస్ట్ ఎప్పుడు సరే స్టేజ్ మీద ఇన్వైట్ చేసే ముందు అడ్జెక్టివ్స్కి కొంచెం కాన్షియస్ అవుతా. అంటే మనం అక్కడే కూర్చొని ఉంటాం, మన గురించే మాట్లాడుతున్నారు, మనమే పైకి వెళ్ళాలని తెలుసు. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ వన్స్ అగైన్.
I'm hoping that was something nice.
It was very nice.
Okay. So now what we would love to discuss with you, and I feel that you are tailor-made to have this discussion, is a young star who seamlessly gels into any role, any industry, any platform. This is the discussion basically when I wanted you over here. This is the topic I had pitched because I feel that you have been pan-India before pan-India became a term. Before people knew the term pan-India, you were already doing it.
How sweet, thank you.
So, first and foremost, the confidence to balance Telugu, Tamil, Hindi movies, also a Hindi web series. When, you know, other big male stars, and this is just what you're doing, they are not maybe doing this, they're in their comfort zone. You have this confidence. Where do you get it from?
When you're extremely ambitious and when you have to find your own path and you like when you see, like I'm somebody who's big on case studies. I did my master's in marketing. So when I study a lot of actors who I found very inspiring, I realized like none of their path routes would suit me. So it was a constant effort to find out what I would make as my own identity. Like for example, when you speak of multiple languages, so Prasthanam, Sneha Geetam, I signed a Tamil film then which I shot for 4 days, and Shore in the City all happened via auditions at the same time. I didn't have a single release by then. So I was just this kid looking for opportunities, trying to relate to content which I really felt I would suit. Like for example, for a Telugu boy who's grown up in Chennai all his life, doing a Hindi film was like a complete bouncer. Like I didn't even speak the language right? But it was exciting as an idea to be able to be this guy at that point especially, because at least today the barriers are so much smoother to cross over.
All those bad, they have dwindled. It's obscure.
Yeah, back in the day when I went there, I was asked not to tell people that I'm a South actor. Like, they were like, just say you're a new Bombay actor, you'll do way better.
You followed that?
Actually, I didn't. So that's why I'm still sitting here, right? So it was interesting because one, for a 21, 22-year-old kid who was really looking into auditions, suddenly the fact that 3 languages were opening up with opportunities was very confidence boosting. But at the same time, it kind of put me in a space where I was trying to understand how do I move forward. But touchwood, I think it has worked in my favor today.
Like you said, you went, you auditioned, you got multiple language films at the same time. Was there any confusion as a young kid, as opposed to now, when you have more clarity with your work, with the industries, as a young kid starting out then, any confusion crept in? How you dealt with that?
To be honest, I still don't have any clarity, you know. I just go with the flow, gut instinct. And earlier I thought it was my superpower. Later I realized it was my Taurian trait. I am a 99% Taurus. So I'm very stubborn when it comes to something which I believe I really can work hard for. I go for it. I don't give up easy. So it is a very difficult period to go through because it's very tough to stay that strong all the time. But that I think is somewhat worked in my favor. If I was, like for example, when I was 21, I remember after Shore came out, Shore was a massive critical acclaimed film, but theatrically it was not a blockbuster, but it was a hit. So I remember cutting out an audition video from all my work, from Prasthanam and Shore, taking the clippings and showing it to every single filmmaker in Bombay, like leaving them a text. I used to go meet them. I used to show them the video saying, this is my work. And like Nitish Tiwari, after Chiller Party, I went and met him and said, listen, I want to do this. So at that point also, I was that guy who was always trying to create work for myself because I didn't see any other option. I didn't have a choice. So that was that.
It's all the and we have many aspiring people in the industry, all the aspiring actors over here. I think so you can see how Sundeep, he just put himself out there. I think so putting yourself out there is really, really important.
And it is very important to stay strong because, see, let's be honest, being an actor or a part of the film industry does come with a lot of boons, a lot of benefits. Like it's higher paid, it's higher valued, but with great power comes great responsibility. So you have to prove it to the people and the industry constantly that you're capable of carrying the responsibility of being a face who can carry forward a story, a filmmaker's dream or a thought, right? So that takes time and it takes a lot of effort.
You've already stumped me in my next question because what I had planned to ask you was the courage to jump into Hindi cinema early into, I think so when Shore came out, about I think 2 Telugu films of yours had just released before that. So my question was that the courage to jump straight into a Hindi film after that, but you told me you had already shot for all those films simultaneously and then they just released in that
But it
order.
also is that I'm not a guy who got a launch, right?
Yeah.
I was an actor who was looking for work. I was going from town to town auditioning. To be honest, I was primarily auditioning in Hyderabad because there was this one website which used to keep putting out saying auditions. It's called idlebrain.com. Now, of course, they're friends, but back in the day, they used to have these articles saying they're looking for newcomers. In Chennai, I randomly bumped into this one dude who told me he was a coordinator and we became friends. And this dude used to take me to all the auditions. I worked as an assistant director. So I didn't know the way. At least today, I guess, it's like it has to be adapted to time. There are reels, there are short films. Back in the day, none of this existed. We had to email stuff. So the upload time by itself was...
Those emails also used to not come really fast like they can come now.
Yeah, so, but I was always very excited to give auditions because that was the one place where I could get to perform. Right? Before I became an actor, an audition was the one place where I'm like, chalo, if I can crack this audition, then I gave me a lot of confidence.
I like how you're honest at the beginning of the conversation. Honestly, it reflects your personality. Honestly, Devil May Care, Shore in the City was a big critical success. Didn't do as well commercially. You outright said it honestly. But today, Shore in the City is regarded as a cult film.
Yeah.
And that is because of OTT. And we are sitting here at a storytellers conclave where OTT is a backdrop over here. Watcho. So they are, integrating, they're infusing this courage for many budding filmmakers to come, and probably they cannot get that big release. OTT is creating that pathway. Do you relate to that somewhat? Because if OTT wasn't there, I don't think Shore in the City would have become the cult film it is today.
To be honest, being very, very genuine to what my belief system is, I could be totally wrong. You guys can correct me if you want to. But any good film on the long run will always stay a cult film. I as a kid, when I grew up, a lot of the films I liked probably didn't work then. But like a decade later, like there'd be a Pudupettai, like a Govinda Govinda, which is a Telugu film.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So these are all films I loved as a kid. But later, at that point, people came back saying they didn't work as much. But 10 years later, these are still films we go back to and say, hey, these are the go back and watch 2 films, right? So somewhere I felt I wanted to identify with that kind of cinema, and I've consciously looked for it. So Shore in the City would have always found its due. Not only Shore in the City, a lot of other films as well in that format. But OTT coming in, speeding the process up and open doors up for a lot of genuine talent to find their ground a little faster. But I somewhere think it's more important to understand it and use it to your advantage over let it go with the flow. That is my... So when I chose to be a part of Family Man season 1, it was a no-brainer. It was Rajan DK and I was working...
I think Rajan DK cut the deal.
Yeah, like it was... See, I'm telling you, for example, when I was chosen for Shore in the City, after these guys met me in Hyderabad and they said, we really like you. And they said, do you speak Hindi? And I was a guy who was grown up in Chennai, right? So I was like, if you give me a job, I will learn Hindi, which I did by the audition time. I sat for 2 weeks. I got a Hindi trainer. I really went crazy. And then I went for the audition. So even the directors, once they okayed me, I had to go through the casting director at that point in time, Atul Mongia. Now guess who went with me as my support system? Usually, if I'm on auditions, support system. అలాగా షోర్ ఇన్ ద సిటీకి నేను ఫస్ట్ టైం బాంబేకి వెళ్తున్నా బస్ ఎక్కి దిగాను. డూ యు అండర్స్టాండ్ తెలుగు? Yeah, so I still remember I went in a bus from Hyderabad to Bombay. It was an overnight bus. I didn't want to spend money on a hotel room because I didn't have that kind of money. I went to Barista, washed my face. I went to the office. Now they were taking me to audition, okay? Guess who came with me as my support system to my audition? Take a wild guess.
One of your family members?
Usually friends, family members, people like that come. For me, it was DK.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
so that is Raj and DK. And it's not just for me, they would have done it for anyone. So I remember at that point of time, the casting director wanted Rajkumar Rao was the pitch from the casting director. And he was like, why is this South Indian boy coming here? And Raj had already worked with Balaji films with LSD, Love, Sex and Dhokha and all those films. Right? And they were like, why do you guys want a South Indian boy to play a Chembur-based cricketer? And DK is like, no, you got to beat this boy. So finally it did land. And Atul woke up and just shook my hand and said, you're good, man. No other. And I was really freaking out and sweating. And I was like, did I do well? And he was like, you have the director waiting there, coming as your support system. So I still remember I walked into the office. I was the only brown, tall, lanky boy there. Everybody else were like gelled up, six-pack, toned Bombay-looking boys. So it was a culture shake for me. So yeah.
Yeah, barely begun this conversation and you're giving headlines after headlines.
Are these the headlines really?
Yeah,
How?
I mean, who this Rajkumar Rao bit? So many.
No, I mean, see, you have to understand, that was the time when everybody was starting off, right? That was the year Pyar Ka Panchnama released. That was the year LSD released. Rajkumar Rao and Rajan DK finally got to work together years later on Stree.
Street
On
and
Stree.
Guns and
Vijay Verma was a part of Rajan DK's Shore in the City short film. So these are all people who started off together, auditioning, trying to look for work, and today everybody's set a identity for themselves. It's incredibly.
And look at where they are now, including Mr. Sundeep Kishan. A round of applause for his journey. This is an amazing, amazing journey, man.
Thank you, guys. So it wasn't about myself, but sure. Huh.
But I have to, even your Tamil film that came similarly, what appealed to you about Yaruda Mahesh?
Okay.
Because that you chose that as your Tamil film debut, again, pretty early in your career, and I don't think so that you had shot simultaneously with the other films?
Before the release, yes.
Yeah.
Before the release, but not simultaneously.
Okay, so what appealed to you? And again, the courage. You had done Telugu, you had done Hindi, now you're going to Tamil. The courage and what appealed to you about that film?
So at that point in time, when it came to Telugu, when I did my first film, which was Prasthanam, like everybody was dead against the thought that, are you mad? Like if you're planning to settle down as a character actor, great, this is the perfect option or choice you can come up with. But if you're really trying to be a lead actor, this is a disaster of a move. Because it is a out-of-the-box, new set of people trying to make a serious film, not your regular commercial format cinema at that point in time. This is being shot in 2008, right? So, so when that happened, and then Shore in the City happened, and a bunch of stuff happened, then I signed a Tamil film and it didn't. We shot for 4 days and the film stalled. You very clearly know you're not one of those people who's going to get a debut per se, right? It's not a debut. I chose to collaborate with a young team who chose to make a film. And it was a very smart adult comedy when we started off at script level. So I thought this is a genre which is not existent and hasn't come in a while. But eventually, while making of the film, somewhere it did turn a little into a slapstick comedy genre. Because, I mean, everybody was... but thankfully, in theaters, again, it didn't work as much. But post-release, it became a rage for some reason digitally.
Absolutely.
And post that, a lot of films in the genre were offered to me. But I just refused blatantly because I was like, I wanted to do one in the genre, done. So it was something I wanted to do.
For somebody who says that still doesn't have clarity, all your answers are very clear. It's even right now when you said, I wanted to do this one film, and I think so. You have that. You do have that clarity. You're just unassuming about it.
I'm just a kid with check boxes. Like when I came in to become an actor, everything like I wanted to work with Krishnavam Sigaru, checked out. You know, I wanted to work with Susindran sir, check. So, or I wanted to do a film which was a sports genre, A1 Express, check. So it is a more personal quest that I've been trying to fulfill while trying to find success in the process. Hopefully, yeah.
Speaking about the check boxes, the impact, I would say, if I'm not wrong, you trained under GVM, sir.
As an assistant director, yes.
The impact that has had in your career, because he is an institution in himself. What kind of impact that has had in your career?
To be honest, absolutely nothing. I never wanted to become a director. I didn't go there to become an assistant director. I met Gautam Menon sir to become an actor. He really liked me. He said he'll place me. He said join my team. I was his 16th assistant director. Along with me were three other boys who wanted to become actors at the same time. Um, and after like 6, 7 months, we kind of realized I was going to take a bit. And I was very clear that I wanted to become an actor. And for me, it was more about an on-set experience of how the set actually works. I figured it out for the first time on Sir's set. But as an actor, probably I didn't really. I've always been more impromptu, spontaneous, so I don't think I picked much from it. But I kind of realized a set hierarchy, who has to be dealt with, how. That understanding of cinema I got from Gautam Sir's sets. We are still great friends. He produced Naragasuran. We've acted together in Michael. So yeah.
And speaking about, because it looks like you have been bitten, the way you're talking, you were bitten by the acting bug at a pretty early age, fairly to assume. Which were the actors that really inspired you? Like, you would not miss, say, growing up, a single show of theirs in the theater. You would look at this big screen with wide eyes, like we all have done at some time. Which were those actors?
Okay, so before that, so when you speak about how the acting bug bit me as a kid, so in every home, there is one kid that everybody believes in. They think that this guy is going to do really well, right? I was never that guy. You know, I was always the guy who was believed to be the biggest loser in the family. They were hoping he at least survives properly and doesn't end up making too big a fool of himself. But let it be in school or wherever I went, the one thing that I was always called for was acting. Like even the teachers who hated me will be like, okay, fine, just call Padam Sundeep. That's what they used to call me in school. So then I realized, okay, probably impromptu speaking and acting were the two things which came naturally to me, and I felt I should play around with it. So that built my excitement to become an actor. And cinema is something I've always been fascinated by. Like, even as a kid, I used to watch three films a day. So that kind of built really in through. The second part of your question, I'm so sorry I tripped.
The actors that you just, you wouldn't.
See, as a kid, I think I was primarily mad about only three actors. One was Rajni sir, one was Chiranjeevi sir, one was Shah Rukh sir. For some reason, I've been the maddest fans of them. Little coming up age, it was Kalyan Garu, Vijay sir, Allu Arjun. These were people who kind of at various points inspired me majorly, Surya sir. And I'm not saying this randomly. Separate individual films of theirs have individually inspired me at various points. Like an Arya, a Pudupeta, a Kaka Kaka. Right? So there'll be this one film which will randomly be like, whoa, this is beautiful. Why can't I do something like this?
Love to watch it again and again.
Yeah, more than watch it and again, the instant impact that it gives you. Right? There is a very subtle layer of preachiness which a lot of these films have, which kind of really influence you as a kid. Right? If you see a lot of our 80s, 90s films, the heroes are always do-gooders. They're very nice people. They want to be these guys who want to take a beating but help everybody. If you get the right out of it, it'll teach you to be a better person. So, yeah.
You mentioned Rajnikant sir, Chiranjeevi sir, and Shah Rukh Khan sir. It's like the Holy Grail, the Holy Trinity.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
Yes. So I have to, before I move on to a point, but this has come out of the blue, I have to ask you, what is it about these three immensely fine legends, each of these, that you became enamored with them at an early age?
So if you see, all these people are people who've come as absolute outsiders to the industry and managed to climb up to a point of being the biggest stars. All of three were the most unassuming superstars. Rajnikant sir brought out the first brown superstar to the country, right? Like dark-skinned superstar, when a time where a dark-skinned actor couldn't exist. So every dark-skinned boy is going to look at him and be like, he's... Now Shah Rukh sir is once again the most unassuming actor on the basis of the regular Bollywood actors to becoming the most loved lover boy, right? Chiranjeevi sir is the person who's put out Telugu cinema on the map and the radar outside. So and all these people have always stood as examples for people who came from absolute outside into a magnanimous industry and managed to conquer it and be good at the same time. You'll never hear of these people being pompous or throwing a fit or disrespecting a fan. None of that will happen. They're always kind, they're very giving, they're very grateful. And now that, I think, is ideally what you take from these people, right? So that is always... I met all the three people, and they're just as kind in person, extremely humble, and they make you feel like you're very special. And I try to inculcate that as little as I can anytime I meet someone. So.
Ooh, beautifully said. Did I would want to describe you as a mercenary if I can.
Mercenary.
Yes,
Sounds
you're-
very violent.
No, not violent, because a mercenary doesn't report to any government. A mercenary doesn't report to any battalion. A mercenary is just hired and he goes and does the job. I see your acting career something like that way. Like I said in the beginning, be it any industry, be it any language, be it any platform. So you're the mercenary of this film industry long before people discovered the term pan-India. And I feel Sundeep Kishan has had a hand in obscuring these borders that people say, "Aajkal wo borders, those borders don't exist." It's Indian cinema as a whole. I feel you had a hand in starting that out, in obscuring those borders and bringing Indian cinema closer. Uh, have you ever thought of this? The pan-India the term actually started after Bahubali, that the whole term. But before that, have you ever thought of this? I was doing this before that.
See, the difference between before and now is sure, I was one of the few South actors of that decade to get to work in Bombay in like a serious theatrical release film. Like there was Siddharth, there was Rana. Rana's Dammaro Dam and Shore in the City released a week away from each other. But that apart, the difference between then and today is a pan-Indian film for a South Indian film is a film made in Hyderabad by Hyderabadi filmmakers as an original Telugu, Tamil, Kannada or Malayalam language, then dubbed and taken out there and made a blockbuster in the north of India. That wasn't existing back there. It was a very rare occasion. Yes, we were actors who were picked up as talents to play parts or carry stories, but as a film of ours from here being taken there and getting that respect is happening today. That I see, like for example, like the kind of reach which a lot of South Indian dub films have in the mass markets is insane. Like there's this one film of mine called Nakshatram, which I gave my life, heart and soul for, really worked hard. It was one of the best filmmakers called Krishna Vamsigaru. The film didn't work at all. Like it was really thrashed out here. But I had cops from the Juhu circle who usually check your cars give me fast track watches and perfumes as gifts, click pictures with me right there on the road. And I'm like, which film? And they were like, Nakshatram. Who would have thought that the payoff for the effort will be years later by an audience who I didn't even make the film for? Now that is when you're just grateful, you're thankful, you're like, oh. So in terms of pan-India, that is the difference. So I don't think I take any credit for it, but probably for a generation or a segment of actors to believe, hey, I could do this too, like probably crack a job in Bombay as a South Indian actor, and still not a random job. It's a lead with a very significant standing on camera. So that I think is what I want to do. And I'm glad I could be a tiny example among a lot of other people.
True. You were a beacon. Now, having worked everywhere, any difference in the working structure of Tamil, Telugu and Hindi film industries?
Telugu and Tamil are very similar, to be honest. Little difference in terms of hierarchy zones in Telugu and Tamil are more. Like Telugu has a little more of boss syndrome. Like at times, like even if I'm like Led Anna, they'll be like, sir. I'm like, Anna, why? You know? In Tamil, it's a little more, but otherwise very similar working styles. Bombay, at least the people I've worked with, it's completely different. It's a whole different setup. Maybe because I've mostly worked with Raj and DK, the segment is, I've seen a very different style of working there.
When you say a whole different, the audience over here would like a little elaboration on that.
It's more prepared there, like in the sense that everything is in order, it's checked, it's tested. While here there is some method to the madness, nobody knows the method, but it works. Like,
Boy, does it work.
Boy, does it work. Like, it works. Now, nobody wants to, like, we'll start rolling at 7:10, everybody will be screaming till you say, rolling, action. And there'll be silence.
Suddenly everybody is silent.
Silence, okay? Now, there is some method, and we land. I don't know how it happens, it comes out. Now in Bombay, it's not like that. Like, everything is ready, okay, set, silence, rolling.
वो आधे घंटे पहले ही साइलेंस शुरू होता है.
हाँ, सोचो आधे घंटा भी ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. 1 मिनट मैक्सिमम हो सकता है. बट फर्क बहुत है ना, सडनली और थोड़ा ऑर्गेनाइज होता है. यहाँ पे खाना सब मिलके खाते हैं. We'll have food being served to us, right? There it's a buffet system. Like, it's exciting. There is Chinese, Italian and shit, which is nice, which we might not have here. But it'll be one biryani here, which is amazing, you know. So that is the difference.
Wow. Okay. In the last year, you have worked twice with Dhanush last year in two very different films. Both films critically acclaimed, both films commercially successful. Captain Miller and Ryan, by the way, I have to admit, Ryan, one of my top 10 films of 2024. Brilliant film, brilliant. So these two films, the experience of Captain Miller, again, he was your co-star, director was somebody else. Then Ryan, he directed you. Yes. So Dhanush the director, Dhanush the actor, working twice with him. Take us through that process.
First thing first, I've always been a huge fan of Dhanush's films and stance as an actor. Because once again, if you see, Dhanush is that one unassuming actor who became a star,
yes.
who's across the country. Again, an example, Tamil, Telugu, Hindi. An actor who's crossing borders and earning his recognition and respect through his craft, right? So I've always looked up to him in style of films. Like for me, a big reason to pick up Prasthanam, which was my debut film in Telugu, where I played the antagonist, was also because I saw a Kadal Kondian or a Pudupettai, where an actor came in playing a rank antagonist and getting a lot of acclaim for it. Even with Ryan, when I was picking it up at that point, on paper, at that point, for somebody the way I was working, it was not a safe career move, based on market statistics.
And you were the villain in it.
Yeah,
Grey
eventually
shade,
it's grey shade. You're still not the first lead in the film. But somewhere Dhanushna believed that, no, this is the hero of the film when the film comes out. And I had this mad, weird confidence that I don't know about the rest. If I do it, it'll work out for me. You know? So there was some weird overconfidence which was running. And it landed. But I wouldn't say overconfidence in general, but the effort for it was very real. Like, be confident, but kill yourself for it. Don't just throw it out there. Now, Captain Miller, it came to me through Arun Madheshwaran, the director. Phenomenal vision, great narrative style. The producers were Satyajyoti. The first Tamil producers who I started with the film stall. One of the most acclaimed producers in Tamil. They're all still very good friends. Arjun is a very dear friend. So he came and said, there is this very heroic part which we need a young actor for. And would you do it? And when they narrated it to me, I realized it had an entire story arc to it, emotion to it, and it had a very powerful stance of holding a frame with Dhanushna, Shivraj Kumar sir, and me in a single frame in an extreme action moment. And I was like, I want to leave that audience, I want to leave that memory in the audience's mind in the theater. And thankfully, every theater we went to, that shot, the entire theater was erupting. And for me, that was the moment. And in the process of the film, I was very pleasantly surprised when DNR came back and offered me a film in his directorial. And when he didn't even narrate the script to me, he said, trust me, he's the hero of the film. And I took his word for it. Like, I didn't even ask him for the narration until, I said okay, and it was more like, okay, let's take the narration. And the faith landed. Now, in terms of a working experience, for me, it was great to be first hands with somebody who I looked up to and learn his strategies right from him. Now, acting is director to director, script to script. I wanted to learn how an actor, his place was strategizing, how he was looking at his career, how he was looking at cinema. And I think I've taken home a lot from that.
There's two things in Ryan that really stuck with me. First of all, I have to admit this. When I wrote my review, I said this is like Godfather in lungis. Because that entire family system, crime world, protecting, betrayal. So that's what struck me, which Godfather had very similar
Thank
things.
you for the great...
Yes. But there's two things that stuck with me. The complex layer that, when Dhanush and I came to know that who betrayed him. And you could, without saying a word, without writing that dialogue in the script, it was conveyed. He was torn between wanting to still protect his two brothers and wanting to probably, maybe not exact vengeance, but wanting to teach them a lesson in some way. He was torn between that. And altogether, only Dhanush and I couldn't do that. The way y'all also were reciprocating to that entire complex dynamic, where y'all wanted to embrace each other as brothers, but y'all couldn't move past that betrayal. How difficult it was to achieve that emotion on the screen.
Full credit to director Dhanush for this, because he was very precise. He was very, very precise. And in terms of, he was very precise in what he wanted, and especially for my character, initially written it for himself. So he was very precise.
He was going to play your character?
Yeah. He wanted someone else to play...
Who was going to play him?
I don't think I should say this now, but he wanted someone else to play that
You can
part.
say it if you want to.
I mean, there were two, I could be wrong, but anyways.
Okay.
But it was initially his part was written for himself. If you realize, it's also a very Dhanush kind of a characterization right from the beginning of the film. So he's very. What was more difficult for me to be in the beats of his body language and still find my originality in the character as an actor. That I found a little difficult, but we found our grounds. But otherwise, we didn't realize any of this while shooting. We were going, as I said, method to the madness. We finished the film in 77 days. So that sort of a film in that number of days is very difficult. We were running for it. Like, this is the first time in my life I had to put black powder on my face and tan myself out more. Like every day on set, like it was given to me. I was made to put that black powder to look darker. And I loved it. I loved it. It was felt very empowering to be able to tan myself more on camera. We used to just walk in on set, take the mud from the ground, throw it on ourselves and walk into the shot because we are running in a hurry. We need to be dirty, right? So when you're working at that pace, we never got time to have fun. We had fun post the shoot of the film. We never even got to chill and have a proper meal through the shoot of the film, probably once, right? So we took our job very seriously. So I think that's what worked for it.
And it showed. And the second point that I would like to say is the parting shot, the last shot, where he's sitting with your sister and your infant is in the arms. Again, without a word being said, you cannot take that shot away from your head. It leaves an indelible mark. Always part of the script, that shot, or it came about?
It always was. If you see, it is a cycle. It's a circle, right? A man who leaves a town and leaves to a different place with a baby in his hand is once again leaving, being a protector with his sister and one other baby in his hand. So it's like life comes a full circle. Right?
That's what
it's that kind of a finishing to it. And it was always that.
Okay. Before I throw open the mic, the last question,
Please.
Your next film.
I'm having fun. I'm good, sir.
Your next film, cannot leave you without talking about it. Coolie.
So here's the thing. Please, ask me the question.
No, but please, you were to say something.
I'm not a part of Coolie.
Everybody is saying you are.
So the thing is, people must understand that Lokesh is a very personal friend, right? He's one of my best friends. Anything big that happens to me, he's one of the first people I'll call. Till today, anything big that happens to him, I'm one of the first people he calls. We don't speak about it because I don't want to make PR out of it, you know? We are personal friends. So at that point in time, Rajni sir said he wanted to meet me.
Oh.
So Lokesh was like, I didn't believe him the first time. He called me the second time. I was like, dude, Rajni sir wants to meet you. And I'm like, hey, shut up. Just calm down, He was like, dude, seriously. And that's when I went running. And the man was such a darling. And I have this thing in me, which might be weird. I don't meet any of my favorite stars till they identify me for who I am. So I didn't go to meet Rajni sir or Chiranjeevi sir or Shah Rukh sir till I was like, oh, he might know who I am, right? So it was amazing. He sat down, he was talking about my work, it was great. I took his blessings and I left. I just chilled there. So I think the pictures from it, because of course there'll be other people there who are fans who will want to click pictures, right? The crew members, they would click pictures with me, they put it out. And people thought that I was a part of the film. No, I'm not a part of Coolie, but I've seen a lot of the film. It's incredible. I've been one of the lucky few to watch like a good
I'm getting
chunk of
goosebumps
the
right
film. It's insane. The only films I'm working on right now is I have my 30th film, Mazaka.
SK31?
Mazaka, which is up for release right now. Feb 26th is the release date. It's a mad, crazy, fun entertainer. It was a very conscious decision because I felt my last 3-4 films are very serious films. I was going through a lot of seriousness. It was Michael, Ryan, Captain Miller, Bhairav Kona. I was like, okay.
Taxing, it gets taxing.
For me and even for the audience, right? And I saw a lot of the film people who came to Bhairav Kona. This is one of the most beautiful things I experienced where when the mic was put out to them and they were like, why did you come for Bhairav Kona? What do you like about it? She was like, it's Sundeep's film. And there's an old lady. And she was like, it's Sundeep's film. I don't care what it is, if it's Sundeep's film, I'll watch it. And I was like, oh my God, right? That kind of love is all that you hope for, and I'm very grateful for it. And I felt I should do one fun, happy film, which is like a proper, colorful family entertainer, great music. The family is coming out and laughing together. And I was lucky enough to get Nakin Trinadh Rao after 4 back-to-back hits to instantly come to me now. Great script. Rao Ramesh Garu is a great part, Prasanna. So that is SK30, which is my 30th film, Mazaka. 31, of course, is an extremely prestigious film, which is Talapati Vijay sir's son, Jason Sanjay's debut directorial with Laika. That again was an incredible story on how it popped up. And it's a contrasting new age action entertainer, which will be a surprise. There's Family Man season 3 and South India's first Netflix show.
I'm now obviously with you over here. There's so many people who have a lot of
Mr.
things to
Russell,
ask. Yeah.
so we would only restrict with 2 questions.
Yeah, sure.
No, I mean, that's okay. You can go for 5 if
Maybe
you want.
when-
I mean,
we can
I'm
be
okay
running
with it
short
if
of
people
time.
want to ask.
So who wants to go first? Oh my God! Already what we have
already
to
two
Hi,
hands
hello.
are
get
up.
a mic. Get a mic over there, please. We could have a mic there.
హలో
Yeah, the lady over here.
Hello, hi. పేరేంటి?
స్వర్ణ శిల్ప
స్వర్ణ శిల్ప. పేరు చాలా బాగుంది స్వర్ణ శిల్ప. వెరీ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ నేమ్. క్రియేటివ్ పెట్టారు.
ఓ మై
చెప్పండి.
గాడ్ ఇట్స్ లైక్ అ వెరీ బిగ్ ఫ్యాన్ మూమెంట్ ఫర్ మీ
థ్యాంక్ యూ. ఇట్స్ ఐ మీన్ స్వీట్ ఆఫ్ యూ టు సే
ఆనెస్ట్లీ
దట్.
ప్లీజ్ డోంట్ మైండ్ ఎవరు ఇక్కడ ఎందుకు వచ్చానో కూడా నాకు తెలీదు సందీప్ కిషన్ చూడడానికి వచ్చాను
అయ్యో, హౌ స్వీట్. వెరీ వెరీ స్వీట్ ఆఫ్ యూ.
She's really blushing. huh?
వాట్ డూ యూ డూ?
ఐఎమ్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్
ఓ నైస్. సాఫ్ట్వేర్ చదువుకున్న వాళ్ళు కూడా నేను వచ్చినానండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ. వెరీ హ్యాపీ.
వీకెండ్ షిఫ్ట్ కూడా ఉంది అయినా వచ్చేసాను
హౌ స్వీట్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
యా
దానికోసం ఒక ఐస్ క్రీమ్ చాక్లెట్ ఇచ్చి వెళ్తా. స్వీట్ ఆఫ్ యూ.
ఓ మై గాడ్ థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ బట్ మీ వల్లనే నేను షుగర్ మానేస్తాను 1 వీక్ నుంచి
స్వీట్.
బట్ ఐల్ టేక్
షూర్.
ఓకే సో హియర్ గోస్ మై క్వశ్చన్ ఇప్పుడు దాకా మీరు చాలా డిఫరెంట్ కైండ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఫిలిమ్స్ చేశారు డిఫరెంట్ జానర్స్ కూడా ట్రై చేశారు అందులో మీ మోస్ట్ ఫేవరెట్ ఏంటి అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు డూ అ డిఫరెంట్ జోనర్ వాట్ వుడ్ ఇట్ వుడ్ బి
సి నేను బేసిక్లీ ఇందాక ఆయనకి అదే అన్నమాట. నేను నా లైఫ్లో ఎదిగేటప్పుడు ఏమైతే సినిమాలు చూసి నాకు నచ్చినాయో అలాంటి కొన్ని సినిమాలు చేయాలని చిన్నప్పుడే డిసైడ్ అయిపోయాను. యూనో అలాగే ఒక్కొక్క జానరా నాకు ఏమైతే నచ్చినాయో ఐఎమ్ పికింగ్ స్టఫ్ అప్ లైక్ దాట్ అండ్ దట్ సమ్హౌ బికేమ్ టుడే సమ్వేర్. ఆ చిన్న ఒక ఏదో కొత్తగా ప్రయత్నిస్తానని ఒక చిన్న గుర్తింపు కూడా ఐ థింక్ అక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చింది. నాకు బాగా నచ్చిందంటే నాకు ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ రీసెంట్ పాస్ట్లో నన్ను నేను బికాజ్ ఏవన్ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్, మైకిల్ అండ్ భైరవ్ కోన, దీస్ 3 ఫిల్మ్స్ నన్ను నేను చాలా మార్చుకోవాల్సి వచ్చింది. యూనో అంటే ఆ క్యారెక్టర్స్ కూడా నేను ప్రిపేర్ అయిన విధానం కానీ ఆ ప్రపంచాన్ని చూసిన విధానం కానీ నేను చాలా ఎదిగాను. యాక్టర్గా కన్నా మనిషిగా చాలా ఎదిగా ఈ సినిమాల టైంలో. సో ఐ థింక్ దీస్ 3 ఫిల్మ్స్ వుడ్ బీ మై మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫిల్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ మై లైఫ్.
వెరీ గుడ్ థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్
Thank
అండ్
you.
ఇంకేమైనా కొత్త జోనర్ ట్రై చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారు
నాకు
ఎనీ ఇన్ యువర్ చెక్ లిస్ట్
నా చెక్ లిస్ట్ పీరియాడిక్ ఫ్యాంటసీ,
వావ్
సంథింగ్ లైక్ రాబిన్ హుడ్
వెయిట్ చేస్తాం మేము ఖచ్చితంగా
తప్పకుండా వస్తుంది. మ్యాక్సిమం 2 years.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్
థ్యాంక్ యూ. థ్యాంక్ యూ స్వర్ణ. స్వర్ణ అనాలా స్వర్ణ శిల్ప అనాలా? స్వర్ణ. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Yes, someone has already. Yeah. there's-
Hi Anna,
హలో, హాయ్ బ్రదర్. పేరు?
what's Yatish Anna?
హాయ్ యతీష్.
What's your major take back from Michael Anna? We all know how much you have worked hard, but that much effort gone. Yes.
See, but that's what I'm trying to tell you. నాకు అదే చాలా కన్ఫ్యూజింగ్ లైఫ్లో. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇవాళ నాకు జేసన్ సంజయ్ సినిమా జరగడానికి కానీ ధనుష్ అన్న పిల్లలు కానీ వాళ్ళ ఫ్రెండ్స్ కానీ లేదైనా బయటికి వెళ్తే నాకు మ్యాక్సిమం గుర్తింపు. బయట నన్ను ఏమైనా ఫోటో తీయడానికి వచ్చినా కూడా ఫస్ట్ నా దగ్గర అనే మాట, అన్న మీ మైకిల్కి పెద్ద ఫ్యాన్ అన్న. ఇప్పుడు నా బ్రెయిన్ కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అయిపోతుంది. నేను దీన్ని కాంప్లిమెంట్గా తీసుకోవాలా? సో ఐ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ రియలైజ్డ్ కొన్ని సినిమాలు థియేట్రికల్ నెంబర్స్ చూపించడానికి, కొన్ని సినిమాలు మనల్ని ఆడియన్స్కి కొత్తగా చూపించడానికి, మన మీద ఇంట్రెస్ట్ని పెంచడానికి. ఐ థింక్ ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ నా మైకిల్ చేసే పర్పస్ నా మీద ఇంట్రెస్ట్ పెంచడానికి. ఐ థింక్ అది నాకు బాగా సర్వ్ అయింది. నెంబర్స్ ఇంకొంచెం బాగా చేసి ఉంటే బాగుండు. తప్పకుండా మైకిల్ 2 చేస్తా. నా కెరీర్ హైయెస్ట్ నెంబర్స్ దాంట్లో వస్తాయి.
And also, how did that push help you from Chota Can I Do? Your
టు బీ వెరీ
Initial
ఆనెస్ట్,
stage.
చెప్పండి.
initial stage lo.
టు బీ వెరీ ఆనెస్ట్, నాకు యాక్చువల్లీ ఎప్పుడు పుష్ ఉండింది లేదు. కొంచెం ఉండుంటే బాగుండు.
Yes.
అండ్ చాలా రియలిస్టిక్గా కూడా మాట్లాడుకుంటే, మీరు ఒక టెక్నీషియన్కి రిలేటివ్గా చూస్తే మీరు జెన్యున్గానే అన్లెస్ యూ ఇన్వెస్ట్ మనీ ఆర్ యూ హ్యావ్ అ మార్కెట్ రన్నింగ్ ఆన్ యూ, ఇలాంటి పుష్లు వర్కౌట్ అవ్వవు. ఏదో బిజినెస్, నీ మీద డబ్బులు పెడితే డబ్బు వస్తుందా? నీకు ఆల్రెడీ రెడీమేడ్ ఫ్యాన్ ఫాలోయింగ్ ఉందా? లేదా డబ్బులు లాస్ అయితే కట్టుకోవడానికి అదే డబ్బులు ఉన్నాయా? ఈ రెండే పుష్. ఈ రెండుని దాటి పెద్ద పుష్లు లేవు. ఈ రెండు అయితే నాకు రాలే. బట్ అది పక్కన పెడితే నాకు చాలా ముఖ్యమైన సమయంలో ఒక కథని ఒక అనుకున్న బడ్జెట్లో తీసి పెట్టడానికి, ఆ విజువల్ క్వాలిటీతో తీసి పెట్టడానికి ఆయన నాకు డబ్బులు లేకుండా పనిచేసి పెట్టారు. అది వెంకటాద్రి ఎక్స్ప్రెస్కి కానీ బీరువాకి కానీ ఆయన ఏమీ ఎదురు చూడకుండా ఆయన వచ్చి వర్క్ చేసి పెట్టేళ్ళారు. ఆ పరంగా ఈజ్ బీన్, ఆయన టాలెంట్ని నాకు వాడి పెట్టారు తప్ప ఏ రోజు సందీప్తో సినిమా తీసి పెట్టండి అనే మాట. ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ హీ ఈజ్ దట్ పర్సన్. నేను అడగమన్నా ఆయన అడగడు. సో యా.
We have time for one last
ఒక
question.
లాస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ అండి
the
ఒక
mic is
లాస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ అంతే
హాయ్ సందీప్ గారు.
హాయ్. హాయ్ బ్రదర్. పేరు?
Hi, Akash Ram.
హాయ్ ఆకాష్.
I would like to pitch something to you. How can I get appointment?
ఇందాక ఎవరో పిచ్ డెక్ అని క్వశ్చన్ అడిగారు, దానికే తిట్టుకున్నారు. ఎవరు అడిగారు? మీరే అడిగారు ఆ ప్రశ్న?
No, no, no.
ఆ పిచ్ డెక్ అనే వాళ్ళకి నేను ఒక చిన్న ఆన్సర్, నాట్ ఫర్ యూ, ఐ టెల్ యూ దిస్. చిన్న సింపుల్ అండి. జస్ట్ లుక్ ఎట్ అ పిచ్ డెక్ యాజ్ ఎ ట్రైలర్ టు యువర్ స్క్రిప్ట్. సినిమాకి మనం ట్రైలర్ ఎలా వేస్తాము, ఇట్స్ నాట్ అబౌట్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ద కోర్ ఆఫ్ ద ఎంటైర్ ఐడియా, బట్ ఇవాళ రోజున వీ హ్యావ్ టు అడాప్ట్ టు ద టైమ్స్ అండ్ వర్క్. ఫిల్మ్ నుంచి డిజిటల్గా వచ్చాం, సీడీల నుంచి దీనికి వచ్చాం, వేరే దారి లేదు. ఆ దారిని మనం కనుక్కుని అర్థం చేసుకుని దానికి అడాప్ట్ అవ్వాలి. అది దయచేసి మీరు మీ ఎఫర్ట్కో మీ జెన్యూనిటీకో ఒక చిన్న ఇదిలా ఫీల్ అవ్వద్దు. బట్ ఉన్న టైంలో వేరే దారి లేక ఎక్కడన్నా ఒక మంచి కథ ఈ నరేషన్ టైంలో మిస్ అయిపోద్దేమో అనే భయంతో పిచ్ డెక్లు అడుగుతారు తప్ప కథను అవాయిడ్ చేయడానికి కాదు. అట్లీస్ట్ నేనైతే అలాగే పనిచేస్తాను. దట్ ఈస్ వన్. ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ రీచింగ్ మీ, ఐ గివ్ యూ మై ఈమెయిల్ ఐడి బిఫోర్ ఐ గో. ప్లీజ్ సెండ్ ఇట్. ఐ రీడ్ ఎవ్రీ సింగిల్ థింగ్ దట్ కమ్స్ టు మీ.
Paspu jacket.
పసుపు జాకెట్ పేరు ఒకసారి చెప్పండి.
Akash Ram.
ఆకాష్.
Thank you.
I will take one more question. I'll tell you why. Because the question I expected it to be related to his films. I can understand your sentiment, brother, because you are also an aspiring filmmaker. But one more question, purely if it is related to his work or if it is something about the industry, not pitching anything, please.
No, that's okay. There are three people. Let me answer all three, one after the other. 1, 2, and 3. And I'll do it quick.
Okay, let's do this real quick. Fastest finger first.
Hi Sundeep.
Hi,
Good
మీ
evening.
పేరండి? Good evening.
I think we met couple of times playing cricket at Madhapur 100 Feet Road.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm an IT employee. My name is Balu.
Hi, Balu. Hello.
సందీప్ గారు, మీ ఓల్డ్ ఫిలిమ్స్ మీరు చెప్పారు కదా, వెంకటాద్రి ఎక్స్ప్రెస్, బీరువా, జోరు, ఇవన్నీ ఎంటర్టైన్మెంట్ జోనర్ మన టాలీవుడ్లో బాగా వర్క్ అయ్యాయి. బట్ వెన్ ఇట్ కమ్స్ టు సీరియస్ ఫిలిమ్స్, రైట్, టాలీవుడ్లో మీకు అంత, ఐ మీన్, కమర్షియల్లీ సక్సెస్ అవ్వలేదు. బట్ తమిళ్ ఇండస్ట్రీలో దే సా యూర్ ట్రూ పొటెన్షియల్ అండ్ డ్రివ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్. సో ఫ్యూచర్లో మళ్ళీ అలాంటివి ఏమైనా తెలుగు ఇండస్ట్రీలో వీ కెన్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్? భైరవ కోన వాస్ ఆల్ టుగెదర్ ఎ డిఫరెంట్ experience, I would say. I enjoyed it a lot in theaters. But going forward, అట్లాంటి ఫిలిమ్స్ మన టాలీవుడ్ సైడ్, బికాస్ ప్రజెంట్ ట్రెండ్ చూస్తే అట్లాంటి ఫిలిమ్స్ కూడా మన ఆడియన్స్ దే ఆర్ ఎంకరేజింగ్. సో ఫ్యూచర్లో ఎనీ ప్లాన్స్ ఆ జోనర్ ఫిలిమ్స్ గెటింగ్ ఇన్ టు టాలీవుడ్?
So the thing is that if you see, నా మొదటి సినిమానే ప్రస్థానం. It was a very serious film that gave me my identity. So ఆ టైంలోని ఇఫ్ యూ రియలైజ్డ్, ఇప్పుడు ఎక్సెప్ట్ ఫర్ ప్రాబ్లీ జోరు అండ్ ఇంకో అదర్ బీరు అనుకుంటా, మిగతా అన్ని సినిమాలు కూడా ఎంటర్టైన్మెంట్ ఉన్నా కూడా ఇట్ వాజ్ ఏదో ఒక ఐడియాగా. ఇప్పుడు మీకు వెంకటాద్రి ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ చూసుకుంటే ఒక రాత్రిలో జరిగే కథ, సాటి మనిషికి సాయం చేసే గురించి కథ. మహానగరం సినిమా చూసుకున్నా కూడా ఏంటంటే ఒక రాత్రిలో జరిగే కథ, సాటి మనిషికి సాయం చేయడం గురించే కథ. ఇంక్లూడింగ్ భైరవ కొన్న ఒక రాత్రిలో జరిగే కథ, సాటి మనిషికి సాయం చేయడం గురించే కథ. ఓకేనా? సమ్వేర్ దిస్ ఇస్ ద ఇమోషన్ దట్ ఐ బిలీవ్ ఇన్. ఇది సీరియస్ ఫార్మాట్లో వచ్చిందా లేదా కామెడీ ఫార్మాట్లో వచ్చిందా అనేది నేను ఫిల్మ్ మేకర్ని బట్టి వెళ్తా. లైక్ తన ఫిల్మ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ నాకు కొత్తగా ఉందా, ఇది నేను ఈ ఫిల్మ్ లాంగ్వేజ్లో నేను చూసుకోవాలనుకుంటున్నానా, ఆడియన్స్ చూడాలనుకుంటున్నారా అని పాయింట్లోనే. అండ్ ఎస్, ఐ వుడ్ ఐడియలీ థింక్ a serious film is today more accepted, but I no longer want that to be my identity. I want to be somebody who's known for a new age commercial idea, fun, happy action film, which everybody can watch from kids to. దానికోసమే నేను ఇప్పుడు ఫ్యామిలీ మ్యాన్ సీరీస్ చేస్తున్నా, యునో. సో ఐఎమ్ ట్రైంగ్ టు బ్యాలెన్స్, ఐఎమ్ స్టిల్ లెర్నింగ్ టు ఫైండ్ ద బ్యాలెన్స్, బట్ అట్ ద మూమెంట్ ఐ థింక్ ఐఎమ్ లిటిల్ కంఫర్టబుల్ విత్ మై స్పేస్. ఐ డోంట్ వాంట్ టు.
సో మజాకా సేమ్ ఫ్యామిలీ జానర్ వస్తుంది. ఆ తర్వాత విజయ్
One
సార్
question per person.
విజయ్ సార్ వాళ్ళ సన్ మూవీ అన్నారు కదా, సో మేబీ యూ కెన్ స్క్రిప్ట్లో సంథింగ్ రిలవెంట్ టు తెలుగు ఆడియన్స్ సో దట్ యూ కెన్ టార్గెట్ బోత్ తెలుగు అండ్ తమిళ్ ఇండస్ట్రీ ప్యారలల్ ఎట్ ద సేమ్ టైమ్.
So if you see Mazaka, I'm doing an entertainment film after close to 5 years. గత 5 years లో ఎంటర్టైన్మెంట్ ఫిల్మ్ చేయాల. ఏవన్ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్, మైకిల్, భైరవ కోన, రాయన్, క్యాప్టెన్ మిల్లర్. నాకే రోజు సెట్కి వెళ్ళి ఫైరు, దుమ్ము, బ్లడ్, ఏంట్రా ఇది బతుకు అన్నట్టు అయిపోతే, సరే కొంచెం ప్రశాంతంగా స్మైల్ చేసే సినిమా ఒకటి ఉండాలని కాన్షియస్గా ఎత్తుకున్నదే మజాకా. నౌ జేసన్ సంజయ్స్ ఫిల్మ్ ఇస్ ఆల్రెడీ అ బైలింగ్వల్. వీఆర్ షూటింగ్ ఇట్ బైలింగ్వల్ అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ వెరీ న్యూ ఏజ్ యాక్షన్ ఎంటర్టైనర్. న్యూ ఏజ్ యాక్షన్ ఎంటర్టైనర్ ఎందుకంటున్నానంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయాలి చాలా కష్టం. మీకు ట్రైలర్ వచ్చినప్పుడు మీకు అర్థం అవుద్ది. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫర్ ఎవ్రీబడి, బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ వెరీ న్యూ ఫిల్మ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ అండ్ నరేటివ్. అది
నెక్స్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ అండి.
యా, బ్యాక్లో ఆయన
Yeah, he had his hand up.
ఆయన అడిగారండి.
If you could pass the mic.
ఆయన తర్వాత క్యాప్ వేసుకున్న ఆయన, కరెక్టా అండి?
Yeah. Good evening, Sundeep sir.
హాయ్ అండి, మీ పేరండి?
My name is Viraj.
హాయ్ విరాజ్, హలో.
I work for direction department.
ఓ నైస్. విచ్ ఫిల్మ్ హ్యావ్ యూ వర్క్డ్ ఆన్ విరాజ్?
So previously I worked with Padipadi Leche Mansu.
ఓ నైస్, ఓకే.
And recently I have been associated with Gam Gam Ganesha, who Anand Devarkonda was in
ఓ
lead.
నైస్.
Yeah. So sir, my question is, it is related to the view of cinema. మనందరం ఏమనుకుంటామంటే సినిమాకి బౌండరీస్ లేవు, లేదా కథలు చెప్పే విధానానికి బౌండరీస్ లేవు అని మనం అనుకుంటాము. కాబట్టి కరెంట్ ఉండే సినారియోలో మెయిన్ స్ట్రీమ్ సినిమా అనేది ఒకటి చచ్చిపోయి కమర్షియల్ సినిమా ప్యాటర్న్ ఎక్కువ అవడం వల్ల ప్రొడ్యూసర్కి నష్టాలు, సాధారణమైన కథలు చెప్పాలనుకునే వాళ్ళు చెప్పలేకపోవడం, అవకాశాలు రాకపోవడం అనేది ఒక తత్వము. ఇంకోటి, కథని బలంగా చెప్పే తత్వం పోయి ఆర్థికంగా లాభంగా బాగా చూపించాలని చెప్పే తత్వం ఒకటి వచ్చేసింది. ఇలాంటి సందర్భాల్లో మీలాంటి మార్కెట్ ఉండే ఒక యాక్టర్ లేదా మీ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ ఉండే యాక్టర్స్ గారు ఎవరైనా సరే కథకి సంబంధించిన బడ్జెట్ మాత్రమే అందుకొని, లేదా అది ఎంతలో చేయాలో అంత మాత్రమే చేసి దానికి బియాండ్గా వెళ్లకుండా ఉండడానికి ఎప్పుడు ఒక కాల్ తీసుకునే జోన్ వస్తుంది. ఇలాంటి ప్లాట్ఫామ్ క్రియేట్ అవ్వడం వల్ల సినిమాకి నష్టం వచ్చినా కూడా ఒక 100 మంది బతికే వాళ్ళకి మళ్ళీ వెనక 90 మందికి దారి ఉంటుందని నాకు ఒక ఆలోచన. బహుశా ఈ డిజిటల్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో చాలా అవకాశం ఉంది కాబట్టి మనం ప్రతిసారి మలయాళం సినిమా ఇలాంటి సినిమా చేసింది, తమిళ సినిమా ఇలాంటి సినిమా చేశారని అనుకుంటాం. బట్ మీరు ఇవన్నీ చూశారు కాబట్టి మీరు ఇలాంటి జోన్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తే మిమ్మల్ని చాలామంది ఫాలో అవుతారు. ఇది ఎప్పుడు ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేయొచ్చు మాలాంటి డెబ్యూటెంట్స్ ఆర్ చాలామంది?
Long impassioned question.
ఫస్ట్ మీ క్వశ్చన్లో ఉండే ప్యాషన్ ఇంటెన్సిటీ చాలా నచ్చింది, బట్ కొంచెం కన్ఫ్యూజింగ్ ఉంది నాకు. ఎండ్ పార్ట్ మాత్రం ఇంకొకసారి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయరా? మీరు బేసిక్లీ అడిగింది ఏంటంటే నో గివ్ హిమ్ ద మైక్ నా ప్లీజ్. ఇట్స్ అన్ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ క్వశ్చన్. ఐమ్ జస్ట్ ట్రైయింగ్ టు బీ ఏబుల్ టు ఆన్సర్ ఇట్ ప్రిసైస్లీ ఇఫ్ ఐ కెన్ అండర్స్టాండ్ ది క్వశ్చన్ లిటిల్ బెటర్.
ద ఓన్లీ థింగ్ ఇస్ సార్, స్టోరీస్ చెప్పే విధానం మారిపోయిందండి. ఒకప్పుడు సినిమా ఒక సొసైటీని రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అయ్యేలాగా ఉండింది. దాని తర్వాత అది ఎంటర్టైన్మెంట్ అయింది, అంటే కథ ఒక ఎంటర్టైన్మెంట్ ప్రాసెస్ అయింది. దాని తర్వాత ఇప్పుడు లగ్జరీ అయింది, అంటే డబ్బు ఉన్నవాడు చూస్తాడు లేకపోతే చూడ్డు. కానీ దీని అన్నటి వల్ల ఏంటంటే 100 మంది మనమంతా కలిసి ఏమైతే సినిమా పరిశ్రమ అని బతుకుతున్నామో దీంట్లో ఒక్కరు చేసిన నష్టం వల్ల మిగతా వాళ్ళు వెనక 10 మంది ఎవరైతే నమ్ముకున్నారో వాళ్ళందరికీ అవకాశం.
ఈ నష్టం ఏంటంటే కన్ఫ్యూజన్, అది కొంచెం కరెక్ట్గా చెప్పరా?
అకార్డింగ్ టు ది ఫినాన్స్ బడ్జెట్స్, సినిమా ఫెయిల్స్ ఇన్ ద ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ స్టోరీ టెల్లింగ్ ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్, మేబీ ఫర్ సమ్ రీజన్. కాకపోతే ఎక్కువ బడ్జెట్ పెట్టడం వల్ల అది మనకు రాకపోవడం వల్ల వెనక మళ్ళీ మీరు ఫినాన్షియల్ అయినా నేను ఫినాన్షియల్ అయినా మళ్ళీ మనం ఆలోచిస్తాం మళ్ళీ నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్ ఎప్పుడు తీసుకుంటాం అన్నది. అలా కాకుండా ఒక కథకి సంబంధించిన బడ్జెట్ మాత్రమే ఒక మమ్ముటి గారు, మోహన్ లాల్ గారు, XYZ ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో అలాంటి ఒక సినిమా జోన్ని మనము ఈ స్పేస్లో క్రియేట్ చేస్తే, మనం ఇప్పుడు ఎలాగైతే పెద్ద బడ్జెట్ ఫిలిమ్స్తో బయట గ్లోబల్గా ఎలివేట్ అయ్యామో అలాగా ఒక మెయిన్ స్ట్రీమ్ సినిమా స్టాండర్డ్స్తో కూడా బయట ఎలివేట్ అయితే వీ విల్ బీ వెరీ ప్రౌడ్ కదా. అలాంటి ఆపర్చునిటీ మీలాంటి యాక్టర్స్ ఎప్పుడు క్రియేట్ చేస్తారు?
Sandeep, I hope you are comfortable with the question.
Yeah, perfectly fine. I was just trying to understand it better. So, perfect. Let me try answering this. నాకు బేసిక్లీ ఒక విషయం చెప్తానండి, తప్పు అవ్వచ్చు, రైట్ అవ్వచ్చు, తప్పు తీసుకోవద్దు. ఫస్ట్ థింగ్స్ ఫస్ట్, వీ టేక్ అవర్ సెల్వ్స్ టూ సీరియస్లీ అండి. లైక్ చాలా కొంచెం ఇది డీటెయిల్డ్ ఆన్సర్, తప్పు తీసుకోవద్దు. ఎండ్ అయిన తర్వాత ఎవరైనా జడ్జ్ చేయాలనుకుంటే ఎండ్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత జడ్జ్ చేయండి, మధ్యలోనే కాదు. బట్ సీ, యూ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ రియలైజ్ టుడే 90% ఆఫ్ ఫిల్మ్ బిజినెస్లో ఒక మేజర్ చంకు డిజిటల్ బయింగ్ మీద డిపెండ్ అవుతుంది. ఇందులో కొన్ని డిజిటల్ యాప్ వాళ్ళ కామర్స్ యాప్కి ప్రమోషనల్ యాప్. సో ఫైనల్గా మీరు ఎవరికైతే సినిమా చేయాలనుకుని ఎవరు కొనాలని అయితే కోరుకుంటున్నారో దట్ యాప్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఇస్ అ ప్రమోషనల్ యాప్ ఫర్ ది కామర్స్ యాప్. మీకు అర్థమైందా? ఆ యాపే ఒక అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంట్. యు ఆర్ లివింగ్ ఇన్ అ వే బిగర్ వరల్డ్ విత్ వే బిగర్ సినారియోస్. ఫస్ట్ పాయింట్. సెకండ్ పాయింట్, మనం ఇప్పుడు చెప్తాం కదా మలయాళం లాంటి సినిమాలోని, అఫ్ కోర్స్ మలయాళం లాంటి సినిమాలు గ్రేట్, దే హ్యావ్ అ గ్రేట్ నరేటివ్ స్టైల్, దే డూయింగ్ సంథింగ్ బ్యూటిఫుల్లీ, బట్ ద థింగ్ ఇస్ దట్ ఈస్ దేర్ ఐడెంటిటీ. ఇప్పుడు తెలుగు సినిమా కంటూ ఒక ఐడెంటిటీ ఉంది, తమిళ సినిమా కంటూ ఒక ఐడెంటిటీ ఉంది, కన్నడ సినిమా కంటూ ఒక ఐడెంటిటీ ఉంది, ఇప్పుడు ఇంకా ఫామ్ అవుతుంది ఇంకా గొప్పగా కదా. సో అందరూ వాళ్ళకి తెలిసిన కథల్ని వాళ్ళ ఐడెంటిటీలో బెస్ట్గా ఎలా చేయాలని చూస్తున్నారు. లైక్ ఇఫ్ యూ సీ ఒక బాహుబలి కానీ ఒక కల్కి కానీ ఎక్స్ట్రీమ్లీ హీరో డ్రివెన్ లార్జర్ దెన్ లైఫ్ స్టోరీస్ విత్ గ్రేట్ మ్యూజిక్. ఆల్ ద తెలుగు ఫిల్మ్ కల్చర్ పాయింట్స్ స్టక్ త్రూ. ఏ పుష్ప 2 టుడే విచ్ ఇస్ బీయింగ్ ఇండియాస్ హైయెస్ట్ కలెక్టింగ్ ఫిల్మ్. ఆలోచించి చూడగలరా, ఒక తెలుగు సినిమా ఇండియాస్ హైయెస్ట్ కలెక్టింగ్ ఫిల్మ్ అనేది. బ్యాక్ టు బ్యాక్ వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఇట్ అగైన్ అండ్ అగైన్. కదా హిందీలో హైయెస్ట్ కలెక్టింగ్ హిందీ ఫిల్మ్. సో సంథింగ్ ఈజ్ హ్యాపెనింగ్. అది మనం దానికి సినిమాకే ఒక ఆర్డర్ లేదు, ఇలాగే ఉండాలని రూలే లేదు. మీరు చెప్పింది నాకు అర్థం అవుతుంది, బడ్జెట్లు పెరుగుతున్నాయి, ఇలా చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారని. మేబీ ఇలా చేస్తే బాగున్ను. షూర్, గ్రేట్, వీ కుడ్. ఐ హ్యావ్ డన్ 12 films for free in my career. I can tell you a number of films, mostly first time directors. మీరు ఒక్కసారి ట్రాక్, మీరు ఇందులో ఎంతమంది డైరెక్టర్లు ఇవాళ టుడే మీరు నేమ్ చేసే, ఐ కెన్ వెరీ ప్రౌడ్లీ సే సమ్ ఆఫ్ ద బెస్ట్ టెక్నీషియన్స్ అండ్ డైరెక్టర్స్, దే స్టార్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ విత్ మీ అట్ దట్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్, అండ్ దోస్ ఫిల్మ్స్ ఐ డిడ్ ఫర్ ఫ్రీ బికాస్ ఐ బిలీవ్డ్ ఇన్ ద ఫిల్మ్ మేకర్ అండ్ ద ఐడియా. దట్ డే దట్ ఐడియా డింట్ వర్క్ యాజ్ మచ్ ప్రాబబ్లీ. ఇవాళ వచ్చింది అంటున్నారు కదా. సో వై వుడ్ ఎనీబడి వాంట్ టు బీ ద టార్చ్ బేరర్ అన్లెస్ యూ షో ద ఫార్మ్. ఇవాళ నాలంటోడు సక్సెస్ఫుల్గా 10 మంది కనిపిస్తే అప్పుడు ఇలాంటి అటెంప్ట్ ఇంకో 10 మంది చేస్తారు. రైట్? సో దెర్ ఇస్ సంథింగ్ ఎల్స్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ టుడే. సో ఇట్ టేక్స్ అ బిట్. ఓవర్ నైట్లో జరిగే పని కాదు. బట్ దట్ అపార్ట్, వీఆర్ ఇన్ అ గ్రేట్ స్పేస్ టుడే. టుడే a first time director can come and make a Dasara, which is a big budget commercial new age narrative kada. Our possibility ivalta undi. So great question, but I'm just saying little more positivity. We are going in the right direction.
Okay, we'll have to wind it up now because
సో ఇంకేమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటే ఆఫ్లైన్ తీసుకుందాం సార్.
Yes.
ఒక క్వశ్చన్,
We'll have to
ఎందుకంటే
wind it up
ఈరోజు అస్పైరింగ్ ఫిల్మ్ మేకర్స్ ఉన్నారు రూమ్లో. సో వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ వన్ మంత్ర యూ వుడ్ లైక్ టు షేర్ విత్ ది అస్పైరింగ్ ఫిల్మ్ మేకర్స్?
Work really, really, really hard. Never give up on yourself. There'll be 1,000 people to tell you. And be very grateful. ఇది నా పర్సనల్ లైఫ్లో నేను చూసింది. నేను ఎవరితో మాట్లాడినా కూడా వాళ్ళు నాకు బాగా సక్సెస్ఫుల్ పీపుల్ చెప్పింది 3 పాయింట్లు. మరీ మెంటల్ లోడ్లా కష్టపడు, నువ్వు వర్కౌట్ అవ్వని చెప్పడానికి 100 మంది ఉంటారు, అస్సలు వెనక దుబ్బేమను. మూడోది, బీ వెరీ వెరీ గ్రేట్ఫుల్. ఈ మూడున్నంత వరకు ఇట్ విల్ టేక్ అ లిటిల్ టైమ్, బట్ ఇట్ విల్ ఆల్వేస్ వర్కౌట్. ఐ హావెంట్ సీన్ అ సింగిల్ గై who's followed this not succeed.
Sundeep Kishan, ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause.
Thank you so much. I would request Mr. Russell if you can hand over a token of appreciation, the bouquet, to Mr. Sundeep Kishan, please. Andaru okkasari gettiga chappal kottalandi. I would request everyone, please give a huge round of applause for actor and producer Mr. Sundeep Kishan, and with him we have on stage Mr. Russell De Silva. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.